Hey, good morning, everybody. How are you today? I hope you are doing well. It's Christmas week, and I want to wish you a Merry Christmas. I hope that you had a great year. You know, it is hard to believe that it is already December. Where'd the year go? I don't know if you have worked all year really hard, finished your goals, worked through, or where you're at, but I certainly hope that you had a great year. When you sit down this time of year and maybe reflect over what you did this year, maybe what you could have done a little bit better. I hope that you're not too hard on yourself. One of the things I can do is be pretty tough on myself when it comes to evaluating or taking inventory of where I've been. And I've learned over the years to kind of try and back off on that a little bit and just be grateful for what I did get accomplished and what did get done business wise. Glad that you're here this morning. This is Thursday Morning Live, and we're here every Thursday morning. I have a great guest today. We'll get to Carolyn here in a minute, but I want to just wish you and your family a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I hope that you are focused on starting 2024 off strong. I think that there's some indications in the market of interest rates changing and maybe the environment loosening up a little bit. So if you're doing some real estate investing, you may want to take a look at this upcoming year for opportunities that are going to exist out there. Hey, if you're new to the show, please like us, love us. If you're on YouTube this morning, subscribe. We're always bringing out great new content, live content for you, information to help you build your business. If you're over on Facebook this morning, glad that you're here. Join our community, Multifamily Unplugged, where we are always letting you, bringing, again, more content, more information to help your business grow. All right, my guest this morning is Carolyn Litton. Carolyn is with the Vision Project. She's a coach, a public speaker, and a creator. She's right here in the Chicago area. And let me bring Carolyn in. I'm excited. Hey, good morning.
Hi, good morning, Mike. Thanks
How
for
are
having
you?
me on.
Hey, you and I met through a mutual friend, Moose. Big shout out to Moose.
Yeah,
He
thanks,
might
Carl.
be listening in. Or he's still sleeping because it's the holiday week, But and you and I have really just kind of gotten to know each other over the last few months. And really, I really like your mission and what you're doing and where you're headed. But, so any big plans for the holiday week here? Or?
Oh, goodness. Well, actually still working, but I'm looking forward to spending some great time with family too. We have a nice little marathon going with a bunch of different family members and going to their houses. Yeah.
Great.
Exciting.
Are you all ready for Christmas?
Almost still have a little bit more wrapping to do, but I will say, and it's funny, I just did a holiday mindfulness challenge for the Vision Project, and that really kept me connected to the Christmas spirit and being mindful of what I need to do. I'm not 100% done, but I'm not freaking out. I'm not stressed. So
yeah, good. Hey, so as I start this, my podcasts all the time, I always ask one question of my guests, and that is, in one word, what best describes you personally and professionally?
That word would be positive. It's funny that you say that. That actually, positivity was my number one strength when I've taken the Don Clifton Strengths Finder, and truly, I don't know if it's a natural thing, but probably. But I also choose to focus on positivity. Mindset is huge for me, both personally and professionally. So I choose to focus on the positive, and I feel like that positivity and growth mindset really has served me so powerfully, both business, professionally, and in my personal life.
Cool. Hey, so let me ask you this. So is being positive something that you've always had that's come natural to you, or is that something you've had to learn skill sets around over the years or grow into?
I find for me, it came naturally. However, just because it comes naturally doesn't mean I'm positive all the time. So over the years, I've found tools and ways to support me when times are challenging, to get back to focusing on the positive. So it's a little bit of both.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause there are those things that happen in life that just can knock you off of course and,
Yes.
give you a little setback. And so, what kind of skills or what have you come up with, that will help you to, get back on course or stay on course?
Sure, that's a great question. Actually, this is perfect. I just spoke
Yeah.
about this a couple of weeks ago at Engaging Speakers. This was my topic. So I talk about accessing the flow state. So that's when things come to you. It's like that optimal state of performance. Things come with ease and grace, and it's positive and it's fun. So what I do to get back into that state is, it's never about like repressing the emotion. Like if something's happening, I allow myself to experience the experience, but I don't let it consume me. So then I'll feel what I'm feeling, and then I'll stop. And then I have a whole bunch of different things. So I'll either gratitude's my favorite thing. So I will stop and say, okay, what am I grateful for in this moment? Because no matter what I'm experiencing, there's always something to be grateful for. So that's probably my biggest thing that will shift me back towards feeling better and getting more positive. But other little things like, taking some deep breaths, getting up, and like sometimes I have to get up from my desk and go for a walk. Like the solution is not going to come to me by just staying at my desk, right? So I get to go outside, get some fresh air, go for a walk. So that's another one of my tools. I'm really big into meditation. So like that's something like maybe I just need to like quiet my mind for 5 minutes and just, do something like that. So those are my tools. And again, I get to experience my feelings, but not let them consume and control me, and get back into that positive state. Like, again, it doesn't happen immediately, but it served me really powerfully.
Yeah, I think gratitude is so important, right? And especially this time of year, a lot of people I think can start thinking about lack and what they don't have or what they didn't get done or accomplish this year, and or maybe what they don't have when
Right.
we really need to look and focus on what we're grateful for.
Yeah.
I think big Tony Robbins guy, right? And over the years I've learned, sit down every day and write out 3 things you're grateful for. And not just think about them quickly, but really engage in them, right? Like,
Yes.
how many times do you think that you're grateful for the air you breathe
Right.
or for the sunshine, right? It doesn't have to be that I have a great car or this or my bank account is full, right? But it's just the
Totally.
simpler things in life that, we take for granted, right?
And what you really said, and you hit it there when you're like, don't just think about it, but like really, you said to like spend, like, don't just briefly brush over it, like really take it in and feel that deep,
Mm,
profound sense of gratitude in your heart. The gratitude practice, like you said, the 3 things, that's actually a part of my daily practice and a part of the vision project too. It's
right.
these little things that we don't all realize that like the profound effect that it has on our lives. And then that also keeps me even more positive, because the more you're grateful for those specific things, like you said, the little thing, they don't have to be huge things. Just, obviously air is huge, but like taking time to actually think about how grateful we are for all of those things. We then find more things to be grateful for throughout the day. And the more practice we are, I find the more that we operate from that state of gratitude, which is beautiful.
Yeah. And when you think air is not huge,
Right,
try not breathing for a little
right,
bit.
right.
Hey, talk about your background a little bit. So,
Sure.
what you've done in the past and what you're doing today and how you got there.
Absolutely. So the quick version is I came from 20 plus years in the mortgage industry. So I was a loan officer, very grateful, successful, like top producer for the companies that I've worked with. And again, it was wonderful. So 20 plus years in that. And back in 2018, I made my first vision board. And like that started opening up so many things in my life. And probably a few years after that, after I saw the power of a vision board, I I created what's called the Vision Project, because I saw the power that it had. So that and gratitude and a bunch of other things like completely changed my life. So then with that, I also had a desire to help the homeless. So that was on my vision board in 2018. And within 1 year, I took just that concept, that idea, like, wow, this would be great to help the homeless on a bigger scale with the community, and formed a 501c3 called Hearts for Hope. And we deliver care packs to the homeless in the Chicagoland area, and involve like tons of like companies and members of the community. So since 2019, we've delivered about over 7,000 care packs, just total grassroots,
Wow.
bringing the community together.
What are in those care packs, Carolyn?
So in the care packs, every care pack has a pair of socks and a handwritten note of encouragement. So that is a staple. So our volunteers will write notes. We have like scouts and kids and adults and like just write like a note of encouragement. That was super important to me. So those two are staple items. And then in the winter, we put like hand warmers and hats and gloves, things like that. In the spring, we do more toiletries, deodorant, toothbrush, toothpaste, soap. So yeah, but it always has the pair of socks and the encouraging note.
And when you go pass those out, talk about that process a little bit. What's that look like?
Oh, sure. So when we pass them out, we will go to the city. So we go to different tents and bridges and actually hand them out. After doing this for several years, we know where those encampments are now. So we'll go there. And we also, over the years, I've developed relationships with multiple shelters. So we'll deliver our bags to Cornerstone Community Outreach, Pacific Garden Mission, Lincoln Park Shelter, like so many different, Northwest Compass, a lot of great shelters that take homeless people from off the street. And then let's see, we're doing something big with Lake County. They're doing a point in time count for the homeless in January. So they just reached out to me last week, and we're delivering over 100 care packs to them.
So homelessness is a huge issue in this country. There's different places that are worse than others. And, how would you rate Chicago's homelessness issue versus some other parts in the country?
Oh, that's actually a great question. In terms of stats, that I'm not exactly sure. But I can tell you, I was involved in a pretty big project this summer, raising money for one of the shelters. Part of my mission too is, to deliver compassion through care packs. That's why we have those notes in there. But it's also to just raise awareness of like causes for homelessness. Like I feel that there's a stigma, and many people can't relate to it, and they think that maybe it's largely due to like drug and alcohol abuse. But really, we actually created this documentary called "What You Don't Know About Me Is," and it's really truly amazing how so many people started out like you and me, right? It's a change of event. It's a change in circumstance. We're all blessed. If something happens, many of us have friends and family that we can like support us for a time being. But like, there's so many stories that maybe, alcohol or drugs came after the initial traumatic event. So part of what I'd like to do is I've been taking part in this amazing transformational program in New York City that helps through experiential methods get to the root of trauma. So I'm trying to bring that program from New York to Chicago, and I'd love to get that into the homeless shelters. So again, it's kind of like the stats and the numbers that I'm not exactly sure, but I would really, one of my missions is to raise awareness and to help get to the root of the problem and bring resources out here to help not just put a Band-Aid on it, but to really help get to the root of the problem. There's so many shelters that help. Cornerstone's a great example. They will help you get your paperwork, get your resume, do all this to get a job. That's amazing. And if we can have extra support to get to the root of the problem, the chances of relapsing are much less.
Yeah.
Much less.
Yeah, it's interesting, right? I think you're so right. It's not just a drug and alcohol issue, but it is, of course, there's some cognitive thinking that goes into it as well. But, any one of us one wrong decision, and we could end up there ourselves. So, I think, again, going back to gratitude, right? I'm very grateful for where I'm at today and how I've been able to get there. And, and it's not just me doing it, but it's people around me, right? That
Yeah.
help support you. And even in your business, right? You have people around you that support you, that do this with you. And, so, yeah, it's definitely interesting. We own a bunch of real estate in Tulsa, and
Oh,
the homeless issue in Tulsa just seems like it's Chicago on steroids, and we know in Chicago it's bad.
yes.
But
New York.
there are some big issues there. So, um, and it's sad. So,
Yeah.
hey, but you also have a group called Engaging Speakers,
Yeah.
that meets in Schaumburg that I've been out to, and great group. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Sure, absolutely. So, engaging speakers. So, I'm the Schaumburg Executive Chapter Director. Gail Brown is the founder of Engaging Speakers. The organization's been around for 20 years, and it's really an amazing organization. People ask me, "Is that like Toastmasters?" And I'm like, "Not really. It's
Yeah,
really it's a way to for entrepreneurs, to speak their way to more business. And it's also an opportunity to network too. So the group is run, it's once a month and we come together. We have a signature speaker. And the speaker usually talks something about like business development or personal development, whatever their gifts are. And yeah, we have coaches on site that help you articulate your 30-second elevator pitch. So we get to communicate in such a way where we can reach our ideal client in 30 seconds or less. So many cool things in that organization. That we offer, but it's, I've met so many amazing people.
yeah,
And we're excited to have you be one of our speakers.
yeah. Coming up in March, I think,
Yeah,
right?
March. Yep.
I'm looking forward to that. Hey, what's interesting is I've been involved in Toastmasters,
Uh,
and I learned more from one time in Engaging Speakers, from the constructive feedback that people gave to people who spoke,
yeah.
that really encouraged me to want to participate more, because I learned so much. Right? You'd go to Toastmasters and there'd be 10 or 12 people there, and people weren't as and I hate keep using the word engaging, but they weren't engaging. They weren't helping you. You weren't, not that Toastmasters is a bad organization at all. It's been around for years and years, but this Engaging Speakers platform, there were 60 people there the day I was there.
Yeah. And
Yeah, so
that's our typical turnout. We usually have pretty consistently 60 people at each event. Mhm.
yeah, so it's great networking, great education, and I always believe if you go to something and you can get a couple of tips or something that's going to help you grow somewhere in your business, whether you're public speaking or whether you have to create that 30-second elevator pitch to tell somebody, right? So it was interesting. When do
Yeah.
you
Oh,
guys meet? You,
we meet the first Tuesday of every month at the Woodfield Corporate Center in Schaumburg, and it's from 10 a.m. to noon. So it's 2 hours once a month. Such a great use of your time. I mean, it's just packed. Well, I run it very efficiently. So it's just like, yeah, we go through, we have the speaking, we have the networking, the connection, the education, the growth, all packed in 2 hours.
Yeah, I would say you do run it very efficiently. I was
Oh,
really impressed.
thank you.
So before the show, you were talking about something you have coming up this month.
Yes. So next Wednesday, so for the Vision Project, that's the program that I created that I mentioned that really focuses on your vision and certain daily mindfulness practices that really help turn those visions into reality faster and easier than before. This is the program that I created that changed my life, and I'm excited to share it with the world. That's what I speak about. So on Wednesday, we're doing 10 steps to vibe high and manifest.
Okay.
And just we explain, my coaching partner, Billy, and I are doing a masterclass at noon. next Wednesday, just talking about how important I deliver my secret sauce and like how important those things are and really how life-changing it is.
Yeah, interesting. And where's that going to be?
That's just on Zoom. So, so if anyone's interested, you can reach out, Carolyn Litton at vpmanifest.com, and I'll send you the registration. So I'll send you the link to both get the worksheet, which is my secret sauce, and then the Zoom is on Wednesday where we just go into more detail.
Awesome. And is that the best way for people to get a hold of you for whether it's the Vision Project or Hearts for Hope?
Yep, absolutely. I would say that email address is fantastic for any of that. I mean, again, I'm still in the mortgage industry, so I have a mortgage team, the Litton Loan Group. So any mortgage needs, if anyone wants to volunteer with Hearts for Hope, if you're interested in Vision Project, if you're interested in speaking or want to be a guest to that speakers group at Engaging Speakers. So yeah, that email is fine. And yeah, we'll connect.
Yeah, awesome. Hey, when you talk about mortgages, I think you and your husband are in the mortgage business also?
Yes, correct.
But residential, correct?
Yes, residential, and we do investment properties, but only up to 4 units. Right, because it's still under the Fannie Freddie guidelines.
Yeah, I know when people talk about mortgage, that's such a vast platform, right? I mean, you could be commercial mortgages or,
right.
Multifamily or industrial buildings, or it could be residential. So that's why I wanted to kind of clarify that. Yes. What do you see happening in the market right now?
So it is a nice reprieve. I will say it's been a challenging year. Nice reprieve to see the dip in interest rates and the fact that the Feds are, likely going to lower them next year. That would just open up a lot of potential for both refinancing, people who had purchased, even when the rates were like closer to 8% earlier this year. That would be amazing. And then hopefully, inventory picks up as well. It gets more options for buyers out there. But I'm optimistic that next year is going to be higher volume than this year.
Yeah.
How about you? What do you see?
Yeah, I got really excited when the treasuries came down, right? Yeah. And then interest rates, it was interesting because I was talking to my mortgage lender on the multifamily side.
Yeah.
And like on Monday, he was quoting stuff at 7.8% for agency debt. And by Thursday that week, he was quoting that same deal at 6.5%. So yeah, when mortgage rates drop over 100 basis points, you kind of know things are, freeing up a little bit.
Right.
And I think I've been in this business 30 years. And all the indicators really point to a lot of loosening. And I've been saying for over a year, this is going to be a soft landing. Yeah. I think there's way too much equity. Too many people have houses paid for. Sure. I think too many people have interest rates that are below, 3.5%, 3%. There's too much equity in the market. And so, I understand the Fed's trying to, put pressure on the market, but I also think that the market's needs to cycle out itself a little bit here. So I believe that this is going to be a good year. There's going to be opportunity out there, and yes, we're going to be able to write deals a little bit better because of interest rates being lower. So it'll make properties perform better on an acquisition.
Absolutely. And it's a really great opportunity for people like yourself and myself and my team. So many people, both in the mortgage and the real estate industry, got out of the profession this year because it has been so challenging. So the veterans who really, the consummate professionals who stuck it out, they're going to, it's going to turn around. So
yeah,
there'll be much more opportunity, I believe, next year.
Yeah, that's great.
Right.
Hey, so, we're kind of winding down here. One question I always like to ask is, what's the best book you've ever read?
I'm a big reader. So, oh man, I'm going to go with, if I had to pick one, which is super hard. I love the book, The Buddha and the Badass by Vishen Lakhiani. super inspirational. That book was the impetus to me really thinking like, I could start my own coaching company and like pursue my passion and reflect on my values. That was a really profound book for me.
Yeah, cool.
How about you?
Awesome. How about me?
Yeah, I'm curious.
Yeah, you know what? Like you, I'm a huge reader, probably read 1,500 books over the last 20 years, but a book that I read in the last year that just really was inspirational was Winning Strategies by Tim Grover.
I like Tim Grover. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he is, he was the personal coach for Michael Jordan, and he coaches LeBron and Kobe. And so, I'm a big, I love basketball, and I love the metaphors around basketball in business. And, he just really brings a new light to it. Plus he kicks your ass in the book, and I don't think you can read a couple of pages without putting the book down and going, okay, I got to go do something now.
I love that. Awesome. Well, I will pick that up then.
Yeah, for sure. Well, listen, I appreciate you being here this morning. Again, why don't you tell everybody where they can get a hold of you if they want to talk about, speaking or your Hearts for Hope project or the Vision Lab?
Yeah, absolutely. So best, I would say, and also feel free to follow me on social media and DM me, but probably best method is the email address on the bottom of the screen. So Carolyn Litton at vpmanifest.com.
Awesome. Hey, listen, I'm going to move you out. I'm going to say goodbye.
Okay.
If you hang out with me for a few minutes, I'll see you in the back room.
Perfect. Sounds great. Thanks, Mike.
Thanks for being here. Merry Christmas.
Oh, Merry Christmas. Thanks for having me on.
You bet. Hey, everybody. That was a great show this morning with Carolyn Litton. And if you have a heart for the homeless, or you're looking to public speak, reach out to her and see how the things that she's doing may be able to benefit you, or better yet, how you might be able to support her in some of the things she's doing. But I want to wish you a Merry Christmas. It's been a great year. I hope you had a great year. As we start to look forward to 2024, the new year. And if you are thinking of doing some goal setting and you are starting to look at business planning for next year, I want to invite you on December 28th. I am doing my annual goal setting and business planning webinar. It's going to be a 90-minute event, virtual. You can tune in from anywhere, but I'm providing a workbook with it. But we're going to talk about mindset and affirmations. We're going to talk about a business planning system 135. We're going to talk about how do we set strategic goals that we can accomplish and feel that we've accomplished things as we go through next year. What do we look at on a monthly and quarterly basis moving forward, and how we can support each other? So there'll be some networking going on and some conversation. Plus I have a bonus session at the end. So I want to invite you, if you have an interest, reach out to me. You can shoot me an email at admin@mycoreintentions.com. We'll get you a link to register. We'll get you the workbook. Even if you don't want to come to the event, grab the workbook for yourself and work through it and start setting some short-term, long-term goals for next year for yourself. But I want to wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We'll be back live in January. This will be our last live for this year. I wish you and your family well and look forward to seeing you soon. Thanks for being here.